Here we have chainmail. I've seen an awful lot of people on the internet talk about how to get oil off of chainmail they purchased. Now, for one thing, mail, historically speaking, needed to be lubricated or else it was going to rust. But if you're heck bent on taking oil off your chainmail or your mail, instead of buying a bunch of caustic chemicals like degreasers and stuff like that, it's a heck of a lot cheaper and way safer, and it works just as well to use sawdust, because sawdust absorbs the oil. Because what you want to do is you want to get the oil that's on here off of here. So if I go like this, my hand is nice and oily now. Going into the sawdust, rub it around a bit. Oil is gone. So that's what we're going to do. Bag of sawdust from my brother's workshop. Spread the sawdust across the mail. That sawdust is already adhering to the mail, or not to the mail, it's adhering to the oil on there. Doesn't take a whole lot. I have more than I need. Do it to this side. And unlike degreaser, the sawdust won't dissolve your hands. Oven cleaner or degreasers come with all sorts of caveats. Do not touch on the skin and all sorts of other stuff. Plus, you end up with what? You end up with a big bunch of caustic chemicals that you're washing into the groundwater. Whereas the oil that is on, whether it's gun oil or whatever kind of oil they use, will be basically turned into a solid part of the sawdust. Put some edges down here. Be right back. So work that in. Work that in. Work that in. Work that in. And you're not going to hurt the chainmail with the sawdust. Sawdust will come right off the chainmail. Plus, the other nice thing about it is, sawdust is not wet. This sawdust is dry. If you use a bunch of water-based degreaser stuff, you are putting your steel in water. And I don't know about you, but from what I understand, steel, when it runs into water, tends to rust. This prevents all that. So, okay. You're going to want to let this sit on there for a little bit to get all that sawdust to absorb into the oil, or the oil absorb into the sawdust, I should say. And after a few minutes, we'll pick it up and we'll hang it up, and then we'll shake all the sawdust off of it, and you should have mail that is basically free from a copious amount of oil. But yeah, now, even without all the oil, your gambeson is going to get detritus from this mail on it. And my answer to that is, so what? Because it's just going to make your kit look more realistic, because that is realistic. Unless you want to look like some knight that was purchased in a Neiman Marcus catalog, and you'll have to Google what that is, because I don't think Neiman Marcus catalog exists anymore. Anyway, I'll give it a few more minutes and see what it looks like. Okay. See, that doesn't stick there at all, hardly. We're going to do one more trick on it to get all the sawdust off of it. We're going to use that leaf blower. And that'll clean them up nicely. Has to have a little bit more time, a little bit more oil off that, but it's very, it's not disgusting or anything. Most of the oil has been absorbed into the sawdust. And there you go. No disgusting, gooey syrupy residue on your skin or on your hands, and no use of caustic chemicals. And all you need is a bag of sawdust. So there you go.